As humans, we desire affection from others. We also yearn for love from our family members, our friends, and especially our significant others. At points in our lives, we may have feel like we have found the one, but how could you really be sure? We are joined today with our lovely panelists to discuss their perception of relationships and their past experiences. This is my time to talk. What's up, y'all? I'm Kyra Rentz, and I'm going to be the host of the show today.
My name is Aaliyah.
Charles Vine.
Trip Washington.
I'm Genesis Rosado.
Okay, so I want to ask you guys, how did you learn how to love?
How? Like where? Like around that same.
Like how? Where did you learn? Like where did you see love to make your perception of love feel like this is love?
Oh, me personally, I feel like my first encounters with love happened with my family. Like, I grew up with both parents. Very blessed, very fortunate for that. And I just saw my parents interacted. And as a kid, I guess, like, you subconsciously pick that up as things that are, like, normal. Like, that's what love is. And you register that, and then you internalize it into what you want love to be and what you don't want love to be. For me personally, like, I've seen my parents' relationship, and I've gotten things that I really like about their relationship and I look for in myself with another partner, but then there are things that I'm like, I can't have this with another person. I just don't want it.
The same for me. Looking at my mom. I mean, like, she do a lot of things for me. In my life, she sacrificed, so seeing the love that she showed me and knowing how it makes me feel. And seeing how other people treat me and the love that they don't show me, so, kind of that absence, I kind of, use that to structure, like, how I love others and how I want to be loved. And that's how I build my relationships with people.
Okay.
Same. I would say going off both of those, I use my mother's encounters with men because I didn't grow up with my father. So my mother went from guy to guy. Not that often, but you know what I'm saying. Trying to find somebody to love her. So I seen all types of different guys. So I use same thing. Take things that is good for me and leave the extra shit. And then, but I really learned love from my mother, from her showing love to me. And I see a lot of traits. We share the same love characteristics. I see it in how I love people and how people love me back, how I take it. I learned a lot from her.
Yeah, the same thing with me. I learned love from my parents and my mom. She kind of sat me to the side, just told me the things to do with a woman and the things not to do, things like that. So my parents.
Okay. So Aaliyah, excuse me. Do you feel like you find love from guys and replace a relationship for your dad?
Yeah. Put me on the spot.
Sorry.
No, but yeah, I feel like that's just how it is. Like, if you don't have that, manly figure, I would say, in my last relationship, really, I put my ex on a pedestal like you would put your dad. You know what I'm saying? I looked up to him. I looked for advice in him. He was older than me, so I really looked at him as more than just, a boyfriend, Yeah. And that was dumb, because you're not my dad. You're not going to love me like my dad. If I make you mad, you're going to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Or anything like that. So that, yeah, I did do that. And that's something that I got to self-reflect, okay, if I had to pick a dad, what dad would I pick?
Right.
So if I'm a mess with a dude, that's how I'm gonna look at it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's scary because I've in my two past serious relationships that I've had, the thing that caught me the most were when they started to do things that my dad would do for me, and it was whoa, okay, now it's kind of easier for you to kind of get me, and it's so weird, and it's not a good philosophy to follow.
Yeah.
But it is, and I've noticed that, and it's not the best thing because my dad will always be my dad and no one can take his place, but it's weird that we kind of fall into these, oh, my partner resembles my mom, or my partner resembles my dad kind of a thing, or in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And dudes pick up on that. Dudes pick up on if a female, or the relationship with their father, and if they can not really take advantage of that, or just like they can feel like they have that effect on a woman. You know what I'm saying? And that they can really control a relationship like that. So just for a heads up.
Yeah, me either. I didn't know
You
that.
don't know what's happening.
For real. Let me know. Let me keep it.
Let me keep it. So how do you, like, what do y'all think the aspects of a relationship consist of?
Trust is number one. That was this big thing in my relationship in the beginning. There was no trust really because he had just got out of jail. So I know you was in there for 2 years. I know you want to go out and be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? I said, do that. Go ahead and do that. But he's like, no, I really want to be with you. I want to settle down. I was in jail. I was thinking, lying. So,
Jail talk.
I was just like, okay, let's try it. I mean, so I didn't really have no trust from him in the beginning because he was doing like a little talking to other girls and stuff. But then the trust came and he stopped doing that. And then all of a sudden he just stopped trusting me. And I never gave him no reason to not trust me.
Question. So do you feel like sometimes when guys like start to question what you're doing, do you feel like that's because he's doing what he's questioning you for doing?
Honestly, a lot of people said that to me, but I never felt like that. Like we were literally together every day. We were literally together every day, all day. Like I couldn't see him cheating. Like you would have to be like a magician to cheat on me because like we together too much. But it's just like he told me the reason he felt that he didn't trust me no more is because I stopped showing him as much affection, so I must have been giving it away. Which wasn't even true. Like we're together every day. What you want me to do? Like, like I'm used to you. You know what I'm saying? Which is not a bad thing. I still love you, but I ain't gonna be all up on you all the time like that. Like you want me to. So
yeah, I like the two. My bad if you want to talk, but I feel like it's a form of like inflection. Like you do something and then you feel guilty about it, and then you project it onto the other person.
Of course, yeah, that's
which
a big thing too.
happened to me in both of my relationships where I was like accused of cheating. And like if you get me to be in like a relationship, because it takes a lot sometimes for me, I feel like you got me. Like I'm completely 100% committed. You don't got to worry about anything. And if there is like a concern, like I'm definitely that type of person that's like, this is what's going on, like. And there was a point in one of my past relationships where I was like, I had a thought about cheating and I broke down crying because I felt like such a horrible girlfriend. I felt like such a horrible girlfriend. And the guy was like, it's okay, this and the fourth. But I felt like there was a point, like a very specific point in the past two relationships where it was like, you're cheating on me, like, what are you doing, who are you texting, who are you calling? And I'm like, you, like, what? And then later you find out that, we're getting cheated on type of thing, and it's like, shitty.
Man, yeah, like, it was times when he would just, like, really try to blame stuff on me, like, out of nowhere, like, really come up with these crazy-ass situations that I just had to be a part of, and I'm just like, where did that come from? And he just... I really started thinking he was psycho. I was looking up symptoms on Google. I'm like, what is wrong with you for real? Because why is you making this stuff up? Like, and it's all because I'm not showing you the same love. Like, you can't just say that. Yeah. You got to be subliminal about it. Like, you're going.
Why y'all not saying nothing?
I was letting you go. All right. I got a question. I know when you were explaining the relationship that you were in, you said that it was like that. You didn't say fear, but you know, basically it was like that fear of like being hurt. Like if you said like something, you know, things like that. So if you knew, you know, like prior to this relationship or anything like that, that there was a possibility of this guy hurting you, then like what did you like how did you expect anything different than for him to accuse you of things like that and to do what he did?
The thing is, like, you guys in general are really persuasive.
Yeah, y'all know.
So it's just like y'all know exactly the right things to say to get a girl. Like, I ain't gonna say y'all. He knew, like, you know what I'm saying. He said, I mean, he was basically I ain't gonna say begging to be with me because I don't want to make it seem like that. But you was begging to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is you about to sit up here and beg to be with me when I'm telling you could go be a hoe? Like, you have a choice, and you pick me. So I'm thinking that it's for real. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly speaking, there's always, like, and I'm going to say this, like, because it applies to everyone because it's just true. There's always a fear of like falling in love. There's always like the fear of like, but what if I get hurt? Like, what if this doesn't last? Like, what if and what if and what if? And it's like, you really gonna let that stop you from falling in love?
Right.
No, never. Because then there might be that also chance that this is the one. Like, I'm done fucking searching. Like, pardon my language, but I'm done searching. Like, this is the one for me, and I got mine, and I'm good. And that feeling, like that, knowing that, and being happy, and like that long term, it's worth any risk. Like, and that's why people, us as human beings, we keep doing like, we keep falling in love, even though things don't work, and we keep like, we just keep trying.
I mean, as a man, I feel like we're afraid of that. Like, putting all of our trust in someone that could easily tear that down. Like, men are afraid, like, super afraid of being broken. Like, and some of us have been broken before, like, at a young age, and we just don't want to do that again. So when we get to that point, we build up a wall. Even with a person we like, even with a person, like, we kind of love and are in love with, we still build that wall up. Yeah. So it's kind of hard.
But that wall can also push back the person that's loving you, trying to love you. You're pushing
that
back
person
from you.
is showing you everything. Like, they're not doing nothing to prove to you that they got this hidden agenda. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could, as a grown person who's been through some things, you should be able to, like, you know, peep things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they real sneaky, then they real sneaky. But I'm saying, like, if, like you said, if you've been hurt before, you know what to look out for, and like, but you know, that's the whole learning process.
Then there's small things that like trigger that like what? There's little things in a relationship. Like, I can't speak for every guy. But
no, all right. So tell me something personal. Like, tell me what it is when it comes to you.
No, because
he said no.
I might not be in this situation. You know, like.
Hypothetical. Nobody take offense out here.
All right. So what's the question again? Let me rephrase the question.
Just like, what are the little things that trigger?
Okay, say, all right, I'm in love with my girlfriend, and we come into a rough patch. You know what I mean? Probably communication down or like trust issues or whatever, and I just see little things I don't see my wife doing, or like things like that, like in this little rough patch. Because in my wife, we're gonna have rough patches, and we're gonna get past that. But if I see these little tendencies that we're not gonna get past, like, then
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But and we're young though too, so it's like these things can be fixed, but we don't know if we want to fix it with this person. Right. So then other dudes go look in other places like to fix these little problems, and that's where that problem comes in. That, you know, things like that. So.
I feel like, but then you have to ask yourself the question, like, do I want this? There is a rough patch, and that is something you always have to acknowledge off the bat. But then you got to ask yourself, like, do I want this? Right. Because sometimes I've been in rough patches, and I just, like, I know off the bat, like, I don't want this.
Cool.
I'm done.
Really.
And then there are patches where it's like, I just can't be done.
Because
like,
there's flaws in everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta
men.
If it's a rough patch, I feel like if it's something that you feel like you can't get over, you could chalk it. Like, we're so young. Like, this is the time to chalk. Like, we don't wait till we're 30 to keep chalking people, because it's like, okay, now we getting old. Like,
you gotta start
trying to reproduce. Like, what's going on? Like, this is the time to, like, oh, you want to cut up? Oh, it's like 50 other dudes that want to talk to me. Oh, you want to cut up? There's 50 other girls that want to talk to me. So it's just like, you gotta, like, don't, like, give them an ultimatum, like, it's either me or I'm like, either I'm about to fuck with you or I'm about to go fuck with them. Like, don't do that, because that's ignorant. Like, oh, if you got options, then go. But it's just like,
that's why I was
it's
asking
communication. You just need to be open with the other person. Like, it's no point in hiding nothing,
and
because that's
like,
what shit be.
Honestly, we have such like high expectations for other people, and sometimes these expectations are like so unrealistic that it's just like, I need to acknowledge that you are your own being, and you're not always gonna react the way I want you to, but that's okay, and it's gonna annoy me, but I love you, and that's okay, and I have to learn. We have to learn together how to like compromise and cooperate and like just learn how to be with each other. And when like I feel like we're in an age where when things get really, really hard, sometimes we're so used to being given things so quickly that when things get hard, we want to throw it away and we want to start something new, because it's like, all right, I don't got the time for this. Right. Somebody else will do this for me. Right. Somebody else will be this for me. And that's a shitty mentality to have, because it's like you're throwing away possibly one of the best things that could ever happen to you just because it's not exactly the way you envisioned it. Right. And the thing about the wall, I will say, everyone is afraid. Like, guys have their walls, and I completely acknowledge that, but girls have their walls too. And I feel like sometimes just because of like the way society is, like guys have their walls more up front, like, and girls, you gotta like tear down layers, like layers of like the flirting, the liking, the this and the fourth, to find out that a girl has like serious issues. Like this is a girl who's been hurt, who's been struggling, who is afraid to fall in love again because she's been hurt so many times. Like, and I feel like with guys it's the same too, but it's the ability to say, you've been hurt, I've been hurt, I get that. Like, I don't want to hurt anymore. You have to sometimes choose to you have to say, I don't want to hurt anymore. I want to be happy. I want to choose to be happy. And that is the hardest thing, trust me. Like, but it's really worth
even
it
if you gotta be happy by yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
Self-love.
Self-love.
I will be by myself before I have to deal with all this shit from a grown ass man. Like, I'm 18. The dude I was messing with was about to be 23. Like, you should never just be acting like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially for somebody who begged me to be in this relationship. Like, and another thing that bothers me is that if I open up to you, how the fuck are you gonna use that against me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to be building together. Like, I'm supposed to be trusting you. Like, I done told you some shit. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be best friends. And then, like, in the back of your head, it's like, oh, damn, so she capable of that. What she about to do? She could do this, so I'm about to start acting like this. Like, that's childish. Like, that was my past. Like, hold up, I was like 15, 16. Like, come on now.
Seriously. Yeah. How do you make a 5-year relationship work?
Right.
See, well, honestly, the thing is, any relationship is difficult. And like you said, a lot of people, when things get hard, a lot of people want to throw it away. I mean, any relationship is hard, but it's the relationships that last is the people that find a way to get past it. You know what I mean? They find a way to get past all the hard times and realize that that who we are right now is not who we're going to be years down the road. So when I look at my girlfriend, like, she make me mad at times. Like, she do, but I realize that she's got growing up to do just like I do. So if I make a mistake,
everybody be perfect.
If I make a mistake, I expect her to understand the same thing, and the same for her, because I realize that right now we're at a young age, and if we do make a mistake, okay, so what? I mean, like, we're both in college, and I mean, like I said, we're 13 hours away. She's in Alabama, I'm in Ohio, but the reason we're able to work is because of that trust, and knowing that even if this little time difference is an issue, that after this college thing, we still gonna find a way to make it work.
I was just about to say that if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. That's what I told my ex. I'm like I'm still in love with you. Like, I still love her. I didn't want to break up with him, but I'm not about to go through this bullshit. You're not going to keep accusing me. So if it's meant to be, it'll be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go work on you. I'm gonna work on me. Didn't mean to rhyme, but it's for real. If it's meant to be, it'll really.
Sometimes
it'll
that's
come
what
back.
it takes, though. Like, sometimes you just have to break up in the moment, and then even like, it doesn't even have to be months down the line, but like years down the line, you reconnect, and it's just like you were the one.
This is the person that I knew you was gonna be. This is who I was waiting for. I just couldn't go through all that. You know what I'm saying?
You just needed to grow up a little.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like in my relationship, a lot of people, starting off, a lot of people doubted us. Like, even her family, doubted that we was gonna be where we are today. But the reason why we stayed so strong is because she never doubted me, and I never doubted her. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and that's a big thing. A lot of people let their friends, let all the voices in their ear influence them instead of having a voice for themselves.
Okay, but sometimes you have to listen to the friend's voice because they peep stuff on the side that you're not aware of because you're blinded by love.
That's where you gotta be grown up at and know what's bullshit and what's not.
Right.
Like,
that is also playing to trust.
Right. Like, if my friend, because females be jealous of your relationship.
They do.
That's true.
So even the closest friend that you may have may be hating on your relationship. She may love you, but she's like, damn, this nigga always with her.
Right.
You don't never get to go nowhere. So guess what I'm about to do? Start something. Or you know what I'm saying? And you gotta be like, you gotta know, like, no, I know my nigga, he ain't gonna do that. Or it's like, damn, could that be? And even if you really think so, don't just like come to him like, awesome. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him like if you really want to make it work. But,
I feel like too with like the whole friend thing getting involved, like Me personally, the people I call my friends are the people, like, I hold closest to my heart. Like, I have a whole bunch of acquaintances, but friends, like, I can count them on my hand. I don't have a lot of friends. I really don't. And I feel like if you're coming to me and you're telling me that you saw something, I'm going to hold it to what it is.
Right.
But I'm also going to acknowledge that you're not on the inside of
Right.
what's going on. Like,
Right.
you couldn't possibly understand, like, the little gritty things that make this what it is with that person. Like, you couldn't possibly understand. So, yeah, like, you acknowledged it, but then you're like, I'm in the situation. Like, I know
Right.
what it is, and
Right.
it's not the full story kind of
Right.
thing. And it's hard to get the full story or depict that to somebody, but it's like, then you're caught in this weird position, like, friends are my, like,
Right,
a
but it's
good
not-
friend
it's
is
not about-
gonna judge
right.
you, you know what
yeah,
I'm
of
saying?
course,
good
friends, if they're
Right.
your real friends, they're gonna respect your
Right.
like decision no matter what.
Right.
And it's like finding those people who are really looking
For your
Out for you,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you know when enough is enough, though?
Oh, you know. Trust me. Like, it's it just be like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
a
it's
feeling
something
that
in
just
your-
come over
yeah,
you.
like,
Like,
yeah.
it's just, you don't know.
You tired of
like,
going through the same
when
shit,
somebody
yeah.
say you know, like, you really know. Be like, what am I doing? Like, I got all this stuff going for me, and you holding me back. Like, you really got to sit back and reflect on your relationship. Like, think of all the good stuff, think of all the bad stuff. If the bad stuff outweigh the good stuff, then it's time to go or try to fix it. But if you feel like it's not going to get fixed, if you got to keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, it's not going to work, because I'm not about to keep repeating myself to a grown man.
Yeah, but going off of that, some dudes like me, I know I've been in a relationship for 2 years, and this is my first like relationship ever. Like, I was in a relationship in middle school, high school. I was a hoe, like for real. So some dudes look at the other person that's been in, like, relationships, had their experience and stuff, look for them to teach them some things. You know what I mean? Like communication, trust issues, like things like that. They know how to do that. So
That's true, because my ex, I was his first girlfriend, and he's grown. Like, he never had a girlfriend. He was a hoe. Like, if I go anywhere, everybody knows who he is. Oh, he hit her, and her. That was him, and I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I knew your past, and I was cool with that.
because it's
And
your past,
then-
like it's before
Right.
you.
Right, you
Like,
know what
how
I'm
could you
saying?
possibly judge a
As long as you
person?
ain't doing it now. But then, but yeah, so I was his first relationship, and like you said, like, it really, he really looked up to me too. As much as I looked up to him, he looked up to me like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Like, you don't want me talking about the other girls that I did stuff with in the past? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't know when enough was enough. Like, we would literally be sitting there for hours. He'd be talking about all these hoes he hit, all the funny stories, and like, some of it would be cool, but I'd be like,
Yeah, it's like
okay,
we get it.
like, okay, I know, like, can you move on? Like, and then I started getting mad. He's like, hold up, I didn't know, because you let me talk about it before. And
Because it's
so
kind
you
of
gotta
like you
be
don't
like-
want to seem like the jealous, like,
Exactly,
oh, I can't
like-
talk to my ex. So you kind of like, I feel like,
But
and
I
I've been
never
caught
brought
in
up
a
niggas because I just
situation-
know his personality. I know he
Yeah.
could get salty, you know?
Like, you get caught in these situations
I
where
don't
you, like,
get
kind of allow it one time and then they get comfortable. So it's just like, oh, this and the fourth happened with my ex, and this and the fourth happened with this shorty that I was fucking around before.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's kind of
Y'all
like,
do
you
the same
kind of
thing,
take
too.
it, but inside
We
it's
do
like,
not discuss our ex relationships.
yes,
We
y'all
do
do.
not.
What happened? How they broke your heart? Like things like that.
that's different
things.
than, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
sharing
still-
memories. That's so
doing it, he was
different.
Y'all do that too.
No,
What's your
we don't
memories
say
about the
that.
ex? That's the past. That should stay in the past.
I think that depends on the person though.
Yeah, it do. It do.
Depending on
Definitely
who the
do.
person is.
But if
Yeah.
you feel like if you keep bringing up your ex, do you feel like they still got feelings for their ex?
Sometimes.
Depends on what you're saying about the ex.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you remind me. Oh, I'm pretty salty as fuck. If you say shit like that, somebody remind me.
no, I'd be no,
What?
that would not be okay. I feel like,
Yeah.
what was the question?
If you keep bringing up your ex.
It depends on how fresh it is, on how the person moved on from it, and just where they're at in the new situation and the old one. It's kind of like, yeah, you kind of like reminisce. That's cool, but like there are instances where people just go on and on, and it's just like
Right.
it's not like I'm getting to know you and what you've been through kind of like. It's
Right.
just like I'm just going on and on, and then this has no
Right.
purpose. I just kind of feel like going on and on and on, and that's kind of like, what the fuck,
Right. Like, I really don't care. Because if I would say this shit, you would be mad. Like,
yeah.
if I kept bringing up all the niggas that I did anything with, you would be like,
Why'd you telling me?
Yeah,
that?
I'm never
like,
fucking you again.
Exactly. For real though, like relationships are weird.
Yeah,
They really are.
that's why I'm single.
True.
You gotta
So how y'all
love
feel-
yourself.
Okay.
My bad. Go ahead.
You cool. How y'all feel about like keeping contact with an ex that you know was like a big part of your life? Like,
I mean, we
That's
grown,
bad.
so
No.
be mature with it. If it's y'all friends now, like y'all had a good relationship, and y'all keep that friend, like you know, like you grown, you know when it crosses boundaries, you know, like that. So
So you
Oh,
you would just like expect your significant other to just be like,
Yeah, if
I'm about to
we-
let them kick it.
I'm not kick it. I
right.
Mean, like,
So
but
what you
talking
mean?
about
That's
commu-
what
if
I'm
they,
asking.
If they just talking,
So what's the point though?
Wait,
Like,
like,
if you like,
Communicating and
wait,
kicking it
if
is
you
all the
like-
same thing.
Wait, if you're like single and like you still talking to your ex, or is
Oh,
it like
yeah.
you like moving towards something with somebody, or in a relationship and you still talking to your
You
ex?
moving toward something with somebody else.
you still talking to your ex?
You still talk to your ex, yeah. How y'all feel about
That's
that?
dead.
yeah, that's. I mean, why are you still talking to your ex if you're
Right.
moving
Right, if you're
forward?
trying to move forward, right?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. You backtracking.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
But
don't
if
do
you
that.
in a relationship
Don't do that.
and you talking to yeah, if you in a relationship and you talking to your ex, it matter what y'all talking about.
No, it
Yeah.
don't.
With me- I mean, with a
Don't talk to
dude
your ex,
do it to a girl,
period.
a dude to a girl, that's different. Like a dude to a girl, they. I don't want to say that. A dude to a girl.
What were you not about to
Shouldn't-
say?
The real
Wouldn't-
that
wouldn't
was
even-
a
I
right.
would say-
Truth.
What was
It
that?
would, like a dude to a girl, that's different. Like they shouldn't. I don't think they should have a lot of communication.
So who
with
the
their
girl gonna talk
The
to?
girl,
The dude, right?
the girl to a dude, like
Hold
It
on,
might
wait,
be
say that
deeper.
again. What?
like me. Like say if I'm talking to my ex,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't want that. I don't want to talk to my ex. Like
You wouldn't want to talk to your ex.
no, that would be a bad
The question
idea.
is, if you did want to talk
Talk
to your
to-
ex, though, would you? If you're in a whole ass relationship with
I mean, it
another
matter.
person?
It matter about the maturity of the relationship. I would think
That's true.
That's it.
That's all
I
it
don't
is.
think so.
You
That's
so
all it
mature
is.
over here.
Yeah, it's maturity
Sometimes,
of the
like,
relationship.
honestly, because
If you don't have a child with that person, you don't have no connections with that person,
But
and you have no reason to talk to them.
okay, what if your
What do you
ex,
have to ask them?
your ex and you had a relationship? Y'all parents had a relationship. Anything like they knew your family. They
Okay,
don't-
what that mean? I don't have to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, but some situations are different. Like
it's hard because sometimes like my parents still talk to me about like my exes,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
they still ask about my exes, but they also like respect that it's my choice, and if it ended, it probably was like not the best thing. Like they could probably really be still rooting for this relationship, but they acknowledge that I'm gonna do what I want to do, and they have to respect that kind of a thing. And I feel like to the whole talking to the ex, I feel like if you're single, like by all means, go
Right.
ahead. Like this was a person. If you were in a relationship with a person and it got serious enough for you to fall in love with this person, like this
Right.
person was important to you.
Yeah.
There's love there. That
Right.
kind of love doesn't just go away. Type
Right.
of like, and I completely understand that. I really do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're single, or when you're moving towards something else with somebody, I mean, like that's, I don't know. That's some tricky territory. But I feel like I have definitely sat down and I thought like about my exes. Like you were like my heart at some point.
Right.
Like
Right.
how did we transition from that to like we're strangers now? Like I don't
Right.
even see you. Like we don't even talk we don't even talk. Like how
Sometimes
did
that's
that
for
happen?
the best though. Like there's a reason we broke
Yeah,
up,
of course.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think it kind of depends on the reason too. Like if y'all both just came to the conclusion like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. I don't like you as much as I did. So it's just like, okay, then we can still be friends. But if it's just like somebody really hurt you, like if somebody cheated on you or hit you or anything like that, and you cut them off,
Yeah.
you can't backtrack to that because it's just like you left for that reason. It's like stay gone, like because you gonna run right back to the same shit for what?
So no happy birthdays, no.
What you happy birthday?
No, I'm asking her.
That's
I'm
trying to
asking you
get
for
attention.
You cheated on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about your birthday, honestly,
Alright.
honestly.
I'm just making
But if
sure.
we cool, like happy birthday. But
Yeah, but some relationships don't always end on bad terms. So
Right,
it's
that's what I'm saying. Like,
we
if y'all
just
end
fell
on
out of
good
love
terms.
kind
Right.
of thing. Like I
Right.
still have love for you, but it's not even like that. It's
Right.
like how do you maintain that relationship? And
But
then,
it's
like,
still the thing from what Charvon said earlier when he said sometimes y'all need a break to grow on yourselves. So during that break, y'all probably found somebody. Then you go back to start. You found yourself. You go back, start communicating with your ex. How do you know you're not about to fall back into that trap?
That's definitely true. There are people who like they
Females do that a lot.
No, I definitely I met people who like keep in contact with the ex even though like they talking to other people because it's like a fail safe. Like if this shit doesn't work, I'm definitely going back to my
And
ex.
that's not okay.
yeah.
That's not okay.
You definitely gotta have a fallback.
See, well,
But you can't depend. You can't come into the relationship thinking that you need
can't.
a fallback.
No, don't come into the relationship with the fallback. But you know what I'm saying?
a
Like if
fallback
you
when
be
you're in a
single, you like,
relationship.
oh, I know I could go back.
But you don't, right.
Get a fallback while
I
you're in
forgot about him.
Like,
see, well, I think that's all a part of loving yourself. Because if you love yourself, then you wouldn't be
looking
you
for
you would be
Exactly.
confident in yourself. You wouldn't
Right.
need nobody
Exactly.
else.
Exactly.
Right.
That's where I'm
Yeah,
at. I'm
that's-
trying to be on
For
that.
5
talk
years, you
about
gotta fall back.
Self-love real
Nah.
quick.
Right,
Let's talk about
really.
self-love
Alright.
real quick.
Yeah.
What y'all think about
dude,
that?
I want to ask dudes because girls
Yeah,
always
for
like,
real.
you know, we gotta love ourselves. Like, but what
Yeah.
about boys? Like, do y'all love yourself? Why
I'm-
y'all always out here hitting all these girls with no condoms?
I love myself.
Yeah.
I'm real confident in myself. I love the person that I am, and that's all a part of being in this relationship that I am. I feel like my girlfriend kind of helped me find who I am. She's been supportive of everything that I did, and that's a huge part of it. I mean everything, every single thing, even when it was going to different colleges. I mean, even though we're far away, she supported me, and I supported her, and that's how we get through it, just because of that support. So.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, before I got with my ex, I really had low self-esteem. Like, I was surprised he even wanted to talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like that, like, so then, like, he really, like, in our relationship, he, like, really made me, like, start, like, loving myself for real. Like, I would say, like, that's why I put him on that, like, such a pedestal, because he really made me come out of my shell and be, like, more, like, loving of myself, confident, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, he tried to use that against me. Like, did you do that for real, or did you do that to make you look better? Like, what was it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, now that I'm not with you, I'm still raw. Like, so,
Yeah.
so you created a monster.
I feel like I've always struggled like with self-esteem and the way I view myself and like the idea of self-love. Like, honestly speaking, 2 years ago I did not know what that was. A year ago I was still like, all right, I know what it is now, but this shit is real uncomfortable type of shit. And it's like going into a relationship like that, you can't always expect the other person to save you, because I did go into a relationship like that, and then I realized, like, okay, shit just got 10 times worse. Like, I couldn't expect him to carry the relationship for both of us type of thing. It was like, but it was like a kind of like psychological thing. Like, I couldn't love you, but you found a way to, so it was like you cling on to that. And after everything like happened, you kind of have to sit down and realize that it's you. Like, no matter what relationship you're in, like, you're the one who falls asleep in your own skin at night.
Right.
And if you're not comfortable in that person's, like, in your body and, like, who you are and who you decide to be, then, like, no relationship is going to save you from that.
Exactly.
And,
Like, that's really true when they say if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody.
Yeah,
else.
exactly. I was about to say that.
Like, that don't even make sense. That's crazy.
yo, the self-love journey is not easy, though.
No.
It is not at all.
It's not. I feel like you don't really, like, love yourself, like, I don't know. Like, personally, I feel like I love myself, but I'm not, like, I could always be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I love who I am, but I don't love where I'm at. So I feel like I could always be better, and that's what, like, pushes me to,
But
try to be
ambition isn't
better.
a bad thing, but it's acceptance of where you're at and acknowledging that that's okay and you're going through a process that's like.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Because I feel like like, just from my personal experience, I feel like a lot of women in my family have struggled with, like, self-esteem and just like the way they view themselves. Partially because we're, like, Dominican women, like, raised to think that all we're meant to do is freaking grow up, find a man you can marry, have kids, stay at home, clean the house, take care of the kids. Like, how is it for you guys? Like, for you guys specifically, I'm not asking you to speak for, like.
I mean, personally, me growing up, my mom and my dad, but mostly my mom instilled me, like, love yourself and, like embrace yourself, like, self-esteem and whatever, control it and things like that. So with me, I never had a problem with it, but it all comes with, well, I won't even say it comes with being a man, but it's all a person thing, a human thing. But with being a man, you have, you know, you might come, even with raising kids, you're gonna have to be a stronghold in your family. So you gotta be on point with it, even with your wife. So you already gotta have that installed in you. So you work on that as you growing up. So in high school and middle school, whatever, you've been working on this. So that's
Right.
on me.
What about you?
Honestly, I feel like I'm with my girlfriend, and I'm with her because I know that she's strong. You know, I feel that a lot of males they're with a certain female because they know that she's weak and they know they can overpower her. But whenever I see like signs of weakness in my girlfriend, I kind of like check her. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, like that's not you. Like, you know, like I'm in this. I want to be successful, and I want her to be successful too. Cause she not like we together, but she got her own success, and I got mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like some people kind of feed off of other people's success instead of chasing success for their own. So so going off of that, I really feel that like I said, a lot of people they're with a certain person because they know that they're vulnerable. Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes it's a disconnect with like in relationships, because sometimes like in a dude has been he brought up to be strong or whatever, not show like emotions and things like that. And some girls they've been hurt or they don't have self-esteem and things like that. And it's hard because I'm looking at you like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, it hurts.
Right.
I don't know how you feel because I'm not in dealing with my emotions like that, so I don't know.
Right.
So it's like it's that cutoff, and some dudes it's hard to help. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I don't know how
really
you feel.
wanting to help.
Yeah,
Right. You know,
like-
you can't.
And there's only so much another person could do for you.
Exactly. So it's like.
Right.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on My Time to Talk.